TV, bringing good things. Adoa TV, bringing good things to life. Adoa TV, bringing good things to life.
Good evening and welcome to the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. The news is coming to you live from our studios on the John Evans Atta Mills High Street in Accra. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana and on YouTube at Adoa TV GH. My name is Benedicta Dodoo and the evening news is brought to you by Blue City Ties and Accessories, Verna Mineral Water and Rwanda Air. Now a look at our top stories for tonight's bulletin. Government, through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, is set to rebuild the Apiate Township as the Minister of the sector and some government officials have gone to assure the people. And on the floor of Parliament today, Member of Parliament for New Edubiasi has hinted on the need for government to make room for affordable accommodation for tertiary institutions as the skyrocketing prices of campus accommodation is becoming a hindrance to the underprivileged in society. And still to come, the ISSER has said Ghana loses over 2 billion cedis in tax due to the undervaluation of gold export. Sports. Following a comprehensive bidding process, Ghana has been chosen to host the 2022 Middle East Africa Rugby Championship. Bringing you details of these stories and more in this bulletin. Now, government has begun the process to rebuild the Apiate community, which was razed by an explosion that raised when a truck carrying explosives for mining exploded in the community on Thursday, 20th January 2022. Now, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, who led a delegation to the community, noted that the President has instructed all security services and the National Disaster Management Organization to mobilize all the requisite resources to provide emergency relief to the victims of the incident.
Na Minister for Western Housing and the Ministry of Western Housing. No, na I said,
he said the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has also formed a committee to undertake independent investigations into the incident and to make recommendations to avert such incidents.
A war ascending, a banishing, and a drenching is why a year in a Juma, why 9 years in a Juma? Why they say a little war bono, why you say a little war bono? Will you casse investigations? As our investigation is our monosono. A bit my presentation will be free. The decline, police will be my every young day. Ghana Fire Service will be young day. Minerals Commission for Association in Massissippi, almost a young day. Yes, I'm presenting in every year. And you will require a woman. I'm saying, Munya Mutie FM, radio for we say the see here, we say the see here, we cover by any, we see the cover by. See, everyone you see, you are a bit Shimuno, a big elevator, you see. Now, Shimu Yasi, you are a bit Nakoswa, and no one in a soa, 7 prayers. Oh, Nana, any a mindful, any ability for Yen Timonusen. Shimu Nasi and Timonumusema, 7 prayers, and medicine, San Shimuno, not a very very neat. And I'm in a moccasin. That's it. A kakra, Omoba, Mukumohano, a year Shemuna Echi, Omoba Disabis and Sem, Noma Befe, Semu, Na Enche, Shemus are so in other day, they name the way. Still an American police escort, no who, no ni who, or the car anymore, or the car anymore. Shemuni be in other day.
He also explained that the purpose of establishing the Apiati Support Fund is to, among others, support the rebuilding of the community, hence called on the chiefs and the people to support government and the committee managing the fund to ensure the rebuilding of the community.
Support Fund, Support Fund. Nana more multi-data. There will be a bank account or commercial bank, any other bank. The more Casacasano, more proper, and more a free young Ebony, Moja, Motese, would be a Juma, my papa. Nana, shut up on my basso. Now I buy more my basso, Mr. Bomabasso said, I buy for the piano. What to an amor, I be a crata. And no, and I'm say, I am Fina, I see a dear and the year Juma. Cannot be a bomber basso. Now, Safran Nayateno. A poor Abata, a Cassia, Ghana for, a Manone for, people will be the same on board construction, Yuma, immediately the SA Mam. Now, on my Penisian Chifan. I may show the fund, no, you are not Modano, only the Pacific. Or you only a Nipa, Nipa, me and the Quiddy for. Omonde mo bedi kita ho na hyehyɛ a mo ni nyinaa ɛne adenhyɛ a mo so mo ɛne mo a mo betumi de abo nyinaa no na ɔmo no mo yɛ adwuma abo na akɔba ne sɛ ɛnti sɛ bankum yes boyi ana nifa so yɛ boyi na ne kwakwa na mɛsrɛ man ni nyinaa sɛ mo kɔ so boa aban ne hyehyɛ a yɛ atu bɛ nyinaa wi ase mo nsɛm kɔ so ɛne akɔba ne sɛ obi esu ne obi akomache na obi aduro ahokyere mu a ɛsɛ nyinaa sɛ ne aban ɛbɔ no ho de sɛ yɛde bɛboa atopa wɔn nsuo na obi so sɛbe nipa bɔne bi so ɔno so ɛhyɛ kuntu na sɛ ɛba bɛ yɛ mfifi mu na sɛ ɛbɛ ma mo mpene na mo nyɛ ne sɛ yɛnkɔ ne ha demonstration na mesrɛ mo obi antie saa asɛm no obi antie wɔn mo hu ne aban ayɛ asɛm sie aban laɛ adenkyeɛ vice president baa ha yɛn sɛ ɔyɛ biara no wayɛ mmerɛ biara no aban mpanyinfoɔ no amoso ani ɛnɛ yɛaba ha okuro no asɛe ɔmampanyin si yɛ mmara ne yɛmmɛhwɛ ne yɛnsi kuro no ma mo nti aban no wɔ tema aban no ɛwɔ adwempama mo nti mmɔda wɔ ma montaa aban no akyi ne nyinaa nyɛ baako ne yɛnsi kuro no nyɛ fɛfɛɛfɛ ɛsiri bie no yɛ fɛfɛɛfɛ a ɔmampanyin ankasa bɛba ha abɛbie kuro no ama mo.
Welcoming the delegation, the chief of the town, Nana Atakwejo Bremibi, expressed his gratitude to the President of the Republic for the numerous interventions. However, he called on government to expedite action on investigations to ensure that such incidents do not happen in future.
Fear has gripped hundreds of students of the Ejisu Senior High and Technical School following the stabbing of 3 students within a space of 1 week. Now, the municipal chief executive for Ejisu, Samuel Odro, has linked the attack to tensions between the students and some youth of Ejisu. Now, they have been fighting in recent times. The students have been complaining of phone snatching, he said. The victims are all final year students and currently receiving treatment at the Ejisu Government Hospital. 5 suspects are facing the court today, Thursday, January 27th. Meanwhile, the Municipal Security Council is meeting to address security concerns. Moving on, the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Akoto, has indicated that the recent outbreak of transborder animal diseases, including bird flu, has negatively impacted the progress of the government's flagship Rearing for Food and Jobs program. Dr. Owusu Akoto said the outbreaks threatens government's agenda of attaining self-sufficiency in meat production by 2025 as envisioned under the Rearing for Food and Jobs program. He said available data indicate that the outbreak, which occurred in 10 out of the 16 regions between December 2021 to January 2022, affected over 700,000.
Needless to say, frequent outbreaks of transboundary animal diseases, such as the highly pathogenic avian influenza, foot and mouth disease, and the African swine fever, among others, threaten government's agenda of attaining self-sufficiency in meat production by 2025, as envisioned under the Rearing for Food and Jobs program. At the last engagement with the media in October 2021, 7 out of the 16 regions in the country had been hit by the bird flu, with the remaining 9 regions equally at risk due to the rapid spreading nature of the disease. The current update is that the Bono, Upper East and Eastern regions are the latest to record cases of bird flu, while some of the already affected regions continue to experience new cases. I must say that this phenomenon of an outbreak is not only in Ghana, it's across West Africa, and indeed it's in Europe. So it's more or less a global issue that we are dealing with here. I don't want to give the impression that it's only happening in Ghana. It's not. Our neighbors are equally suffering from this outbreak.
The Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Akoto, speaking on the subject, noted the government is implementing a number of interventions to curb the spread. He also hinted at the establishment of a regulatory authority to strengthen the poultry industry. Dr. Akoto noted that the necessary legal framework was being worked on. The government has taken the necessary steps to update the existing 1960 Animal Health Act by finalizing the new bill for introduction into Parliament this year. Once in effect, the updated act will empower the ministry to regulate the industry. Dr. Akoto said the proposals of the bill is the regulatory authority to certify poultry and livestock farms and enforcement of sanctions such as the
major reason why the country's poultry and livestock industry has become vulnerable to the outbreak of transboundary animal disease is the long absence of an updated Animal Health Act to effectively regulate the industry. I'm therefore pleased to report that government has taken the necessary steps to update the existing 1960 Animal Health Act by finalizing a new bill for introduction to Parliament this year. Once in effect, the updated act will empower the ministry through the VSD to regulate the industry. Among the proposals of the bill is a regulatory authority to certify poultry and livestock farms and the enforcement of sanctions such as closure of farms of recalcitrant farmers in this country. I wish to use this platform to urge all to support government's effort to contain the spread of bird flu and help keep alive the vision of transforming the livestock and poultry industry.
The BBC has begun the search for a future star of African journalism with the launch of the 7th BBC World News Komla Dumont Award. Now, the search for the next worthy winner of the Komla Dumont Award was launched with an online event on 20.
The BBC World News Komla Dumont Award, first launched in 2015, was set up to honor the memory of the distinguished Ghanaian broadcaster Komla Dumont, who presented on BBC Africa and BBC World News, known for championing robust, dynamic journalism and for his commitment to reporting African stories comprehensively and authentically. He made a significant impact on Africa and the rest of the world. The award has been launched yesterday and expected to roll out for the 7th time to find exceptional talent in African journalism. The BBC is encouraging journalists across Africa to apply for the prestigious prize, which seeks to promote and celebrate outstanding journalistic talent living and working on the continent. In relation to this, an interview was conducted by the former winner for 2020, Victoria Ubadiri, during her placement travel to Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, to report on an app developed to improve transport safety in Kinshasa, the country's capital city. She also had the opportunity as a first-timer to learn more about the life of the celebrant in question through an interview with the family. In the interview, Kwansima Komla's widow shared that she was proud of her husband's impact at the BBC and also told Victoria that her family are thankful to the BBC for remembering him through the prize. The award will offer the winner a 3-month working opportunity with BBC News teams in London, across television, radio and online, and will be giving the opportunity to sharpen their journalism skills through training, workshops and mentorship with leading BBC journalists. As part of the placement, the successful candidates will have the opportunity to travel to a country in Africa to report on a story that they have researched, with a report broadcast to the BBC's global audiences. The previous winners have truly exemplified Komla's dedication to telling Africa stories with depth, erudition and insight. We are excited to find and welcome this year's winner and see the legacy of Komla's journalism continue. Lillian Landor, Senior Controller of BBC News International Services and Director of BBC World Services, I'm delighted that the BBC World News Komla Dumont Award has returned for its 7th year. The BBC is committed to continuing Komla's legacy through the award by empowering journalists from Africa to tell original and nuanced African stories to reach international audiences. Applications for this award closes on February 16th, 11:59 GMT.
See, the BBC's always had a problem looking cool. That's where I come in.
From that, member of New Edubiasi in the Ashanti region today made a statement in Parliament indicating that accommodation in our universities has become a crisis, citing examples of some citizenry who approached him for help in securing accommodation. The legislator says the cost of residence, which is not readily available, is too high and makes it difficult for poor people to access education. He cried that government, through university councils of management, should find ways to ameliorate the situation.
Mr. Speaker, during the recess, a constituent whose daughter had gained admission to study at the University of Ghana requested that I help her daughter secure accommodation after they had been unsuccessful in their online application. Mr. Speaker, I wondered why it should take the Member of Parliament, the intervention of a Member of Parliament, to find a place for a prospective student. Mr. Speaker, it took us over 6 hours of waiting for a manager of one of the hostel facilities on campus to finally find a slot for my constituent. When I was leaving the manager's office at around 4:40 p.m., there was still a queue of desperate students and their parents waiting to have an audience with the managers of the hostel. The current arrangement in some of our public universities are that after paying tuition, students are required to apply and secure accommodation online. Mr. Speaker, this arrangement does not often work for many students, especially those in rural areas. Mr. Speaker, to access the online portals, one needs fast and reliable internet, which is a challenge in many parts of the country. Even for those in our urban areas, the reports are that rooms are usually unavailable by the time students get the notification to log on to the portals. So, Speaker, the cost of accommodation on campus is too high for the average parent. Currently, apart from the traditional halls, the average residential fee ranges between a little below 2,500 cedis to 12,000 Ghana cedis for an academic year. This development makes it difficult for students from poor families to enroll. Mr. Speaker, as enrollment increases in our public universities, the only logical thing for the government to do is to provide adequate facilities to accommodate the growing student population.
Mr. Speaker, it is true that accommodation, especially residential accommodation for students, is becoming a very critical issue in our tertiary institutions, especially the traditional universities. It is becoming very, very difficult for some students, especially the first-year students, to get accommodation in the traditional halls. The challenge we are having is that we are not being progressive enough to make sure that every year, at least the public universities put up or expand the existing accommodation for students. So, Mr. Speaker, I will urge that government takes up this as a serious responsibility to make sure that funds are made available to the tertiary institutions to complete their projects so that our students who could not afford private hostels should be able to get universities that accommodation in the tertiary institutions, especially the traditional halls.
It will be necessary for the universities to engage other stakeholders, including the government, to plan ahead of time. Say every year, when they are going to make the admissions, they should know the available space that they have in terms of facilities to match the admission intake. And at the same time, they should have a plan ahead of time for, let's say, 4 years of the admission requirements and availability, and then plan ahead of time. So based on this, before they admit students, they know the limitations and the strength that they have, and plan towards that, engaging the private sector, engaging the government, and making sure that whatever they make in their IGF, they make provision to help the students who are coming in to have the comfort and then prepare themselves very well to acquire the tertiary education that they require. I'm very grateful to you, Honorable Speaker, and to members who also put in this event. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Still in Parliament and on education, the Education Minister, Honorable Yao Educhum, in response to statements made by some members of the House with regard to accommodation challenges in tertiary institutions, says he understands the concerns raised and the frustrations about accommodation in tertiary education. He says the ministry is looking at ways of enhancing the private sector to improve the accommodation issues raised. The minister also took the opportunity to commend schools like UPSA, UEW for their contribution to alleviating the accommodation challenges of students through internally generated funds.
Mr. Speaker, I've heard the issues that have been brought up in terms of policy, in terms of practice, and what takes place in terms of student accommodation. I'm glad my honorable colleague was able to get accommodation for his constituents, and I'm grateful to KNUST for the assistance that they provided to him whilst he was there on the campus. You see, there are times when you may have an issue of limited supply, or you may also have a management problem on your hands. If I listen to the comments of my colleagues, I can see there is something in between the two. That students are manually going around looking for facilities. Whereas if the system was built up in such a way that you can select online before you get there to make sure accommodation was provided, we'll eliminate some of these problems. So I work with the universities to look at the best way forward in terms of ensuring that we have a proper management system in place so that students have to go to campus on the first day of school opening to look for spaces manually. The good news is that having heard of any students who could not attend KNUST or any other university for that matter because there was no accommodation, I also understand the frustration of parents if they have to go there and physically be present before they can find accommodation for their awards. My honorable colleague referred to the fact that this challenge has been there for 24 years. The challenge that we confront today must end. And I had various suggestions, the other things that the ministry is doing, promoting, build, operate, and transfer, as was suggested by my honorable colleagues. We look at the tertiary education space. Some funding has been made available, for example, for colleges of education of 400 million allocated to them to build hostels. Now we are moving on to the public universities to help complete some buildings that have been there, structures that have been there for years, sometimes over 20 years. We are looking at ways where we can complement the efforts of the private sector, sometimes through credit enhancement, through support from GET Fund, so that these facilities will be completed to remove the challenges our parents may go through and our young ones and our wards may go through. I want to take this opportunity on the floor of this parliament to congratulate and to thank universities like UPSA for the innovative manner with which they'll be able to handle the accommodation challenges, building residential halls through their own IGF. I also want to commend UUW for the work they've done there, the various residential facilities they've built through their IGF so that they can accommodate our students who attend those institutions. I think together, when we bring together the universities and government and bring together the private sector, we'll be able to find a solution that has eluded us for many, many years.
Now, it's likely to find lepers coiled in their shells because of the stigma associated with their condition. However, there are a few who use their innate talent to earn the respect of society despite their condition. Nanaya Ado speaks to Master John, who is the senior prefect at the Wage Leprosarium. He is a cured leper who is an artist.
Today we are here at the Wage Leprosarium and we are here to talk to Master John. He's a cured leper, but his talent amuses us. It amazes us, and we are here to talk to him. How it has been, his lifestyle, the struggles, the stigma around being a cured leper, how he has been able to deal with it, his family life, and all that. Join us as we talk to Master John.
Meet Master John 1, called the Leonard da Vinci of lepers. He moved to the Wager Leprosarium with his wife and 3 children from Nigeria in 2012 with the help of Father Campbell, the father of the Lepers Aid Committee. Master John explains how he got infected with leprosy at 52 years.
Throughout in my infancy times in the primary school, normally when I see paintings or sketches in a book like that, I love it. And I try to copy it. Sometimes I will draw on the ground, sometimes on a piece of paper. And we had one teacher, but I do remember that one day she brought in a brush and watercolor paint and a comb. So he put a leaf on the paper and he mixed the distance. So he was combing it on the paper. So after he removed the distance, the paper the flower just appeared. So I love it. So I began to do all those things. So since from my infancy, I took delight in drawing and painting. And after my education in Ghana here, I went to Lagos. And as I went there, I was doing painting, and I had to go to Ibadan, UI, to do applied art. So I did that one there. Then after that, I established myself at Lagos, and I had so many apprentices that I was training, and I trained so many of them. So one day I just woke up. I saw some hard noodles on my body. It was painless. I didn't understand, but I was taking medication and all this, but it was not going. Rather, it was coming more and more.
From Lagos, Nigeria, Mr. John mentions about how his situation affected his business as an artist and how it dispersed his customers and friends.
At the time, all those noodles that came on my body, in fact, they became sore on my body, and I cannot go anywhere. All my clients, when they come and they saw me like this, they say, what type of sickness is this? They began to run away. One day I even went to go and eat in a restaurant. Immediately, people that were eating, the sellers, everybody, they saw me, everybody just start running. Because the woman said, you cannot sell anything to me, and I was very hungry. So it came to a point that, in fact, it could not work again for me. And all my office equipment that I had to sell them all to gather transportation. Because one day I was going, I reached a bus stop and I saw a young boy like this, and he called me and said, John, you knew me before. John, come. What are all these things? I said, I didn't know. He said, you are a Ghanaian? I said, yes, I'm a Ghanaian. I said, I'm a doctor, but I did my course in Ghana. In Ghana, they are good in treating all these skin diseases. So it's better you go back home and treat this thing, as it will not go well. So I said, okay. But where will the money come out? So I sold all my equipment and all this into Ghana money. And in fact, I met a lady there. And that lady that I met there, she was, she brought me home without knowing Ghana, because I met her there, and we have 3 kids. Since this man has entered the land of Ghana now, he is going to be cured. So it's better, because up till that time, they didn't know the type of sickness it was. You understand? So they wanted to send me to whole leprosarium. Then one man said they should send me to one clinic. Another man, so it became a debate between them. So the other man said, no, as he see my body and all this thing, he saw some type of this thing at the leprosarium that they cured, so they should send me there. So early morning now, my brothers, they prepared and they took me there. And fortunately and unfortunately, as I reached there, they say they are no longer operating services at the leprosarium, because they have turned that place into a polyclinic.
Faith, who is Master John's daughter, could not hide how happy she was about her father's paintings.
Yes. So your father has been telling us how you love his drawing, and I would like you to tell me, how do you feel when he draws? How do you feel when he paints? What goes through your head?
I feel good because his paintings are matured and he's well experienced in the job. I will do it as a hobby, as a side job, so that anytime I get bored, I can do something on it. Painting is a nice thing, especially when you get an artwork in your room. It actually brightens the atmosphere. So when you love something, you must go in for it.
He encouraged the youth to put more passion into practice and also told us more about how Reverend Father Andrew Campbell has been of great help to him and his friends.
What I would say is about Father Campbell is somebody that normally prefer you tell him the truth. If you are not telling him the truth, you will not be friendly with you, because as he himself is going, all the time he is planning to do something better. Because that's their slogan for the Lepers A Committee, do something beautiful for God. So anytime he's going, he's planning better. So if you come closer to him and you are not maybe yielding fruitfulness to what he is planning to do now, he will not be happy with you. So living with Father Campbell, I may say, is a big blessing. The advice to the youth today now, they don't want to at least learn anything. Though most of them are doing it as a course in the school. But to do the practical aspect, they find it very difficult because they don't want to learn. Even if you are doing it in the school, if you have to on the practical aspect, you must also at least get somewhere to learn it. It will help you.
Mr. John teaches us how beautiful his drawings come out to be. We spoke to one of his children, Faith, who also tells us how much he loves his father's drawings, and she wishes one day she'll use it as a hobby. Reporting for Adoa News, Nanaya.
This is the live transmission of the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. We'll be right back.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
CB will make up now. I'm correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. You see, CB men capsules in America.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the dada. And one year packaging I the
wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada who dey do you. And come home.
Susanna. Ghana man man tamase.
Dodoo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240-926-564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emil's Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Welcome back from the break. Mobile Money Association of Ghana has petitioned the Minority Caucus in Parliament to ensure that the new electronic transaction levy, e-levy, is rejected when put before the House. According to the group, its analysis done on the e-levy following its introduction in the 2022 budget shows its implementation will pose a challenge not only to Ghanaians and agents, but also have some effects on the economy.
The General Secretary of the Association, Evans Otumfuo, while presenting the petition, hinted that the approval of the levy will undermine the country's cashless system, job losses, and affect government's digitization drive. He added that the agents who play major roles within the industry will have their profit margins slashed and may be forced to pull back their investments. The minority has mounted a strong defense against the inclusion of the 1.75% levy in the 2022 budget, claiming it will only worsen the economic burden of the citizenry. But according to Finance Minister, the levy will increase the country's tax to GDP from 13% to a targeted 16% or more.
The Institute for Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISSER, has revealed that Ghana loses more than $2 billion in taxes alone due to the undervaluation of gold exports. The study revealed that from 2011 to 2017, Ghana's exports were undervalued by an estimated $8.3 billion. The group said the research focused on commodities like cocoa and gold as they were the main resources the country exports.
Senior economic researcher at ISA and member of the research team, Dr. Amakujo, indicated that the information was derived from the Ghana Revenue Authority and other government agencies. She added that gold was abnormally undervalued at about $8.3 billion in 2011, while the current price stands at $3.8 billion, which slashes the prices by 11% through exportation. The top 5 destination countries of these undervalued gold exports include major gold refining destinations such as India, South Africa, United Arab Emirates, Switzerland, and Portugal. This represented major gold refining, trading, and manufacturing destinations. But senior research fellow at ISA, Dr. Fred Janku, says he is optimistic that if measures are put in place to reduce the trade-related illicit financial flows, government would raise revenue to finance its major flagship programs.
That is all for business. Pause follows shortly.
Malaria enti abayi woye juma bono malaria defo ya o enti awo ahire ne customers ni wo ne se mami aye smart apa sibi malakio amma ne ba ya odi ko school she se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria enti a ontimi ni
onia entina ho ema we mu biara to wo so we malaria test na bi wo mu a edra bedewa ene sibi malakio ye dinuna ne hahama na akeka bom asone so aye sibi malakio edra we so de enya nyonkra o aye tata she
edra yi nyema apemfo abate a wo ma wo manfo ene nkwada wo ni mfie dumie
Suziana what would you with
FD ahwehwe saa ejedi enkrato yi mu age atomu se eye
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Moving on to some sports updates now. Egypt beat Ivory Coast 5-4 on penalties to reach the quarterfinals at the Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon following a 0-0 draw. Now the North Africans got the upper hand in the shootout when substitute keeper Gabaski saved Eric Bailey's effort in the third round of spot kicks. And Pharaoh's captain Mohamed Salah netted the decisive penalty to send the seven-time champions through.
Equatorial Guinea needed penalties to beat Mali after a goalless draw in extra time to reach the quarterfinals of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations Cameroon 2021. In other news, on January 26, 2022, Egypt qualified for the quarterfinals following a 5-4 penalty shootout victory over Cote d'Ivoire. Earlier, Senegal rolled into the quarterfinals, defeating Cape Verde 2-0 in a round of 16 match, while the Atlas Lions of Morocco secured their quarterfinal place with a victory over Malawi. Both matches started with a moment of silence ahead of kick-off in memory of the victims of the Olembe Stadium stampede on January 24, 2022. Egypt and Equatorial Guinea joined Senegal, Morocco, Tunisia, Burkina Faso, Cameroon and Gambia as teams which move through to the next round. The quarterfinals pairing is set and ready to go as host nation Cameroon to battle Gambia. Seven-time champions Egypt will face Morocco in the quarterfinals. Burkina Faso will come up against Tunisia, and finally 2019 runners-up Senegal will match boot to boot with Equatorial Guinea. The quarterfinals will start on Saturday, a game between Gambia and host nation Cameroon on Saturday, January 29, 2022.
And away from the AFCON, following a comprehensive bidding process, Ghana has been chosen to host the 2022 Middle East African Championship, which will run from 27th September to 2nd October. 4 nations will take part: Morocco, Nigeria, and Cameroon join the hosts in what will be the 3rd edition of the championship.
Ghana is set to host the 2022 edition of Middle East African Rugby Championship. The event will be held from 27th September to 2nd September to 2nd October 2022. The competition involves Nigeria, Cameroon and Morocco, who will join host nation Ghana. There is greater incentive for the winners, this time with victory, seeing them join the qualification process on the continent for the 2025 Rugby League World Cup. Nigerians are the current holders of the trophy, having triumphed in 2019. The last 2 scheduled competitions were postponed because of the global pandemic. President of Rugby League Federation Ghana, Nana Prempeh, commenting, said, "We are very happy to have won the bid to host the 2022 MEA Championship. This will aid RLFG in strengthening its relationship with the government. It also increases awareness to attract more players in various regions and possibly investors to assist in growing the sport. Ghana will be ready." RLFG General Manager Jafaru Mustafa also added that after 10 years of being involved with the sport and with the commitment of the human resources around at the moment, "I am very confident that the 2022 MEA Championship is in the right place. We will work assiduously to make this event one of the best Africa has ever witnessed. Any players with Ghanaian heritage who would like to get in touch can contact us through our website. The head of marketing and branding for RLFG, Daniel Okojan, expressed high levels of excitement. He said it is a great opportunity for corporate organizations, individual philanthropists, and sponsors to support the Rugby League, which will increase their brand connection and growth and also help develop the wonderful sport. Detail of the draw for the tournament will be announced soon and likely to be linked to a Super League fixture.
And that is all for tonight on the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. A recap of our top stories. Government through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is set to rebuild the Apiate Township as the Minister of the sector and some government officials have gone to assure the people. And on the floor of Parliament today, Member of Parliament for New Edubiasi has hinted on the need for government to make room for affordable accommodation for tertiary institutions as the skyrocketing prices of campus accommodation is becoming a hindrance to the underprivileged in society. And the ISSER has said Ghana loses over 2 billion cedis in tax due to the undervaluation of gold exports. And in sports, following a comprehensive bidding process, Ghana has been chosen to host the 2022 Middle East Africa Rugby Championship. For more news, log on to our website www.adoanewsonline.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana and on YouTube at Adoa TV GH. My name is Benedicta Dodoo. The evening news is brought to you by Blue City Ties and Accessories, Verna Mineral Water, and Rwanda Air. Thanks for staying with us. Enjoy your evening.